Bionicle Legends 5 Inferno. Written by Greg Fashti, recording by Packy Nuva. Chapter 2. Garand led the other 5 members of the Matoran resistance through the winding corridors of the Pyraka stronghold. They could still hear the sounds of battle coming from the virus chamber, though they were unsure who was fighting.
"We should go back," said Dalu. "This fight is for our freedom. We should be part of it."
"We are part of it," said Garan. "A very important part. The Toa Inika tasked us with finding the imprisoned Toa Nuva. If the Inika fall, the Nuva may be the only hope we have."
"But why look here? They could have the Nuva hidden anywhere on the island."
Velika chuckled.
"When you fear the Muwaka, it is best to keep him in sight."
"He's right," said Balta. "The Pyraka would want such dangerous foes where they could keep an eye on them. So let's keep looking. And don't drop those Zamosphere launchers. I built them in a hurry, and they're pretty fragile." The group pressed on, each member well aware that their quest might be futile. The Toa Inika weren't even sure that the Toa Nuva were still alive. Just hopeful.
Then again, thought Garan, in some battles, hope is the only weapon you have.
The Toa Inika stood before a fork in the stairway. The right passage was blocked with stone, and the left wide open.
"Think the Pyraka closed off the right passage to throw us off the trail?"
asked Jala. Huki took a close look at the pile of rock.
"No, this has been here a long time."
Matoro frowned. He could have sworn that when he came this way in his spirit form, the left passage had been blocked and the right open. Given what Huki said, though, that was impossible, wasn't it?
"So we go left," Jala said.
"Great,"
muttered Kongu.
"Guess I am the only one who remembers what Turaga Matau always says about going left."
Before the Toa could take a step into the left portal, Jala spotted a figure coming up the staircase toward them.
"Be ready!"
he snapped, and the other Inika braced for combat. But the being that emerged from the shadows was not a Pyraka or some other kind of enemy. He was an almost regal figure in red and gold armor, wearing an all-too-familiar Konoe mask of shielding. The shield he carried somehow managed to gleam brightly even in the dim light. Although none of the Toa Inika present had any memories of ever meeting him before, they all recognized him from the Turaga's tales.
"This is impossible," Jala whispered. "Toa Likan?"
Wait a minute," said Matoro. "Turaga Vakama said Likan became a Turaga 1,000 years ago, fought Makuta, and—"
"The word you're hard looking for is died,"
said Kongu, taking aim with his laser crossbow.
"Which means the golden one here is an imposter."
The figure before them made no move to defend himself. He regarded the Toa Inika calmly, and when he spoke, it was with an almost paternal tone to his voice.
"Amazing that the Toa Metru I helped bring into being should lead to a new generation of heroes with such unusual masks."
"Who are you?" demanded Hali. "You cannot be who you appear to be. Toa Likan died a hero, and you defile his memory."
"And his mask," said Jala.
He had inherited the noble mask of Turaga Likan, but it was stolen from him during the journey to Voyanui.
"Am I dead in your memories? Am I dead in your hearts?" asked Likan. "Because if the answer to those questions is no, then I am not truly dead."
"If I quick fire this crossbow, you will be,"
replied Kongu. Likan ignored him.
"I've come to bring you a warning. Proceed no farther down these stairs. The mask of life is not for such as you. Turn back, Toa, while you can."
Jala looked into the eyes of the Toa he regarded as one of the greatest heroes in history. All he saw was shadow.
"If you truly are Toa Likan, would you turn back and give up on so vital a mission when you know thousands depend on you?"
Likan shook his head.
"No,"
I wouldn't, he said, taking a step backward into the darkness. But then, look what happened to me. Jala rushed forward, but Toa Likan was gone. The Toa Inaka of Fire turned back to his comrades, troubled and confused. First Karzani, now this? Far too many specters of the past trying to stop us.
Well, we have to worry about the future. They don't,
said Nuparu.
So let's keep going.
The Toa Inaka continued down the staircase, convinced that they could now leave the past behind them. Unfortunately, they were about to discover the past was far from through with them. Axon had spent a lot of time lately on the wrong end of battles. His first clash with the Pyraka had ended thanks to an ambush by Brutaka. His efforts to stop Brutaka from revealing the location of the Mask of Life had resulted in his being beaten to a pulp by a being he used to consider a friend.
But in this game, Brutaka, it doesn't matter who wins the first few battles,
Axon thought.
Only who wins the last one.
Brutaka charged. Axon swung his axe, only to have his enemy block it with a twin-bladed sword. Weapons locked together, they strained at each other. Brutaka had the advantages of height and reach, but Axon was a little stronger and rapidly began to force his enemy back.
You're weakening,
said Axon.
You're dreaming,
Brutaka shot back.
Give up. There's no reason Botar has to be brought into this.
Brutaka's eyes widened. Every Order of Matanui member knew the name Botar, and just what mention of him could mean.
You wouldn't,
he said.
Watch me. I'd rather watch you die,
said Brutaka, suddenly stopping his resistance. With nothing pushing back, Axon's own force propelled him forward. Brutaka fell backward and used his legs and Axon's momentum to send his enemy flying. Axon hit the floor and skidded close to the crystal vat containing the Pyraka's virus. Brutaka got to his feet and raised his sword. It was time to finish the job. Axon saw the blade coming toward him. He rolled aside at the last possible moment as the tip of Brutaka's sword buried itself in the floor. Axon used a leg sweep to upend Brutaka. As soon as his foe hit the ground, Axon tried to wrest the sword away.
Stupid, said Brutaka. You gave this sword to me, remember? Already forgotten what it can do?
The weapon flared with energy. An electrical jolt shot through Axon's body, forcing his hands to tighten on the sword. Pain ripped through him, and he couldn't let go.
I could just let you fry,
Brutaka snarled, even as he kicked Axon's axe across the room.
When did you become such a fool? I've beaten you twice. This will be the last time.
Brutaka shut down the blade's energy. Axon gasped and let go of the weapon.
When the Pyraka return with the Mask of Life, I'm taking it away from them,
Brutaka said.
Then I am getting off this barren rock and showing the universe what real power looks like. And you're not going to do anything to stop me.
Brutaka called on the power of his Konoe mask. A dimensional vortex appeared in the air near Axon, moving closer and closer to the downed Guardian.
Why should I waste my blade on you when I can transport you far from here?
Brutaka asked, laughing.
Go ahead, Axon. Attack me. Even if you knock me out, that gate will keep after you until it draws you inside. It won't disappear until someone has passed through it. And that someone is you.
Axon saw the gate advancing rapidly, threatening to envelop him. He couldn't see anything inside it, only deep darkness. He knew Brutaka's power. The gate might lead to some place else on Voyanui, or any other island, or even to a different dimension entirely. No matter the destination, he knew he would wind up too far away to stop Brutaka. Axon scrambled to his feet and prepared for a final charge at his enemy.
All right, Brutaka, but if I have to go, You can bet I'm not going alone.
End of Chapter 2.